My spidey senses are telling me that you feel you lack the knowledge or support needed to change your life. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, I'm just here to deliver it. Okay, I know you lack the support or knowledge needed to change your life or start something out of the ordinary. I know that you want to go after something that seems far, and you don't even know, like, literally where to begin. I also know you have probably sought after advice from people that you consider smarter, only to not really get far. If you're anything like me, if you've been frustrated enough, you give up on the idea altogether because it seems very overwhelming to reach that happy life that you dream of. And when I say that happy life that you dream of, I mean it can be in terms of business, it can be in terms of relationships, it can be in terms of just a mental space that you want to be at, because life is not all about money. It's not just one thing that brings us happiness. There's different areas of your life. And so sometimes we can look at other people or seek advice from other people, but for some reason we feel something's missing. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Catherine. I'm a boudoir photographer. However, and I've built a very successful boudoir photography business. However, I've had many businesses, absolutely had no one to turn to as far as being close to me that I can turn to that could help me build things the way I have built them. So for me, it was literally like fear of getting older and not doing something that felt good and exciting to me, or feeling that, here's the big one, feeling that I don't deserve it and literally just giving up altogether. But the one thing I can say is that giving up has come back to haunt me in many ways with regret. And regret is one thing that hurts me, okay? But the thing is that I've listened to a lot of people and tried following literally like every single thing they tell me, how to make my life work, how to make it better, how to feel happy, how to feel good, how to make money in business, at least how I see fit. But it still left me frustrated and honestly, like, not even feel that freaking smart because I just couldn't put the pieces together. So fast forward, I would say probably about 5 years ago, I got to a point where I realized that my self-esteem needed a major remodel. Being aware of this and working on it literally began to change my life. Like, literally then and only then did my life start to change in the most amazing way. I'm about to stop you from years of tears and help you get the ball rolling when whatever area of your life that is. So I'm going to show you how to literally stop thinking others know every single thing in regards to you so much better than you know yourself. In today's video, I'm breaking down my 6 game-changing steps to move confidently in your life decisions. First, I want to tell you how you've ended up with the mindset, the low self-esteem problem in the first place. And I say low self-esteem not to say anything's wrong with you, but I think we all feel at some point that our self-esteem can be higher than what it is right now. I know I do. And I know so many people feel that way. So that's what I mean by lower self-esteem. I feel it comes from a few different areas. Number one, as a child, older people in our lives growing up influenced us as a child. You learn to obey instructions. If you wanted to do something, you were told, don't do it that way, do it this way instead. It could have been something as simple as, I want to go outside in the rain, which I do as an adult now, big time, okay? But someone made you feel bad or forced you to question your choice because their belief is you'll get sick if you remain outside. So here it starts. Someone else knows better and we push how we feel to the side. Not even an explanation, just do as you're told. Literally, if avoiding the rain is all we'd have to do to stop all major diseases, okay, I'd understand. But would you even dare go there and question it as a child? No. I personally can never recall rain making me sick. I'm just saying. This is in no way am I saying that our parents screwed us up, at least not completely, right? Because they literally follow what they were taught and believed was best for us. After all, there is no lifelong parent manual, but not letting you decide and learn has made you accustomed to feeling like you can't move ahead without approval. I mean, right now I have a little puppy, and every single thing I take her through training every single day. I tell her, like, she's not in here right now up under me because I've trained her. Do not come past this. She can come past it, but I've trained her not to come past it. And this is basically because those are my rules. She's small, I'm her authority, and she's following my rules. Like, she even literally knows her name because that's what I gave her. So you see what I'm saying? Dakota, what are you doing? This is my Dakota. She's my little Coda bear. So this has absolutely nothing at all to do with the video, but a couple months ago, I lost my French bulldog, Leah, and she meant the world to me. It was very tragic. It was all of a sudden, and so I guess maybe I appeared that I needed another dog. So here Dakota is, and she loves my lotion and body oil. She know, like, I'm calling her name. She knows that I know she's up to something, and she's only been with me 2 weeks. And she knows, like, I've embedded all these rules in her. Now, I'm doing it for her safety as well as, protecting the things that I've invested in. However, that's my way. I'm conditioning her. And so that's what I mean when I say, as a kid, we want to make these choices and decisions. We're so pure in the mind, but then we have an adult authoritative figure that basically says no. And they're tossing these rules on us based on what they learned and what they know. And so we look at it as if it's law, and that's it. That's how it is, and we don't question it. And over time we get to a point to where we feel like that's natural. We come up with a thought, someone tells us what to do, and we act on it. It works out just fine, even though we wanted to do something different, but we did what they told us and we move on in life. And so now that's what we're used to. Maybe you feel you don't look like the person that has the happy life you dream of. They must be quote unquote smarter than you, or grew up in a different environment with lots of support, because we're good at making assumptions and putting together a person's entire life on our own, right? We look to other people, maybe outside of the people that have helped us as smaller young children, and they may offer us advice on how to get where they are, but your mind still feels like something is missing and you literally can't move on. And this is how I felt. I'm speaking from all the experience here. This is how I felt. For years I have, let me piece together this, piece together this, piece together this, piece together what this person told me, piece together what that person told me, and still only to feel like, oh my gosh, like, but wait a minute, I still don't have this piece of the puzzle, and I'm frustrated. I can't move on. I'm just literally at a standstill. That's, again, what I want to get you out of. So the number 3 thing that I want to tell you in terms of why I feel like you are in this current mindset is due to any traumatic experience that made you feel unworthy. It was not resolved, or it was never acknowledged that it should have never happened to you. There was an article that I read that I found online from AmyandClinics.com, and I'll link it below. I'll put the link to the article below. But it talked about how women can develop low self-esteem. It stated that although intuition and a healthy amount of worry can be very beneficial to us for self-protection and the protection of our children and our families, the downside of this is we worry that our minds are much busier, and we oftentimes worry way too much. I'm just going to break it down really, really simple and just show you how to do this. And you start like this, so therefore you can get your mind accustomed to it. Say you want to start making friends. Okay. And you feel a simple dinner party with a few people that you conversate with from time to time would be nice. What's going to happen immediately as soon as you say that? Because making friends is something that's very, very important. Us as adults, that's a hard thing to do, but making friends is something that's very, very important. So you come up with a little general broad plan on how you're going to make friends, and that's by having a little dinner party. And what's the very first thing that comes up in your mind? Will they like me? What will I talk about? Will they feel bored? I've never had friends. And then we start going off into, you know what? It's probably not a good idea at all. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. Literally right then and there when you start thinking that, because the power of awareness will trump everything. The power of awareness and being able to hold yourself together and just really not act out of emotion and really just stop for a second and dissect these thoughts, because I'll have to make another video on how I feel thoughts. We deem them to be, that's it. We thought of it, that's how it is, when that is so not it. You can stop and think, be aware, and you can change all of that. So the moment you start saying it's probably not a good idea, I want you to hold it right there before you back down and do this. I want you to stop and tell yourself that you're not doing anything wrong. Nothing. Like literally stop and tell yourself you're not doing anything wrong. I feel when you tell yourself that, when you stop and you can say that to yourself, that I'm not doing anything wrong, then that can put you in a place where you have to literally stop your mind and say, and like just intersect and say, okay, wait. Let me be aware of what's going on. Once you stop and tell yourself you're not doing anything wrong, I want you to think about, no matter what happens, you'll prove to yourself that you'll follow through with your idea. And that if you don't, you disappoint and let yourself down again. Like I literally want you to say it like that, because we tell our children, in order for us to tell our children that they disappoint us or let us down or something like that, that's a powerful word. And that's one that I honestly don't use a lot when it comes to my children. But if I say it to myself, then that means, wow, like I don't want to disappoint myself at all. Now that you've come up with the idea, literally put it down on paper. And I've said this in other videos. Put it down on paper. Put your ideas down on paper, on a Google document. This makes it real. You can sit here and you can have thoughts in your mind all day, every day. And the easiest thing that we do when we get a thought in our minds, we go run and tell people, and we want to do this, and then they shoot it down because they're not thinking of it. They're not thinking of it at all. And so you end up giving up on things. But what I want you to do is I want you to write it down. And I want you to make it real. Most people are not going to hold your hand and tell you, yeah, you should go for it. And they're not going to help you sit down and do the hours of research that you need in order to execute on your plan. Nowhere ever are they going to do that. Go ahead and get advice from someone on how to plan and structure your idea. Ask someone who has done it. It's 100% okay to get help from others, or you can do some online research. But it's literally okay to get help from others. However, the people that you go to get help from is not going to always be mama, sister, brother, best friend. No, it needs to be people that have literally done it before. Because if you're anything like me, I don't have a lot of people around me that do anything like what I do. Like I will literally sit here and nonstop get a few hours of sleep. I will literally sit here and lay on my couch, lay down for a few hours, get back up, research. Lay down for a few hours, get back up, research. Lay down for, like, that's me in my life. I can't really think of anyone else around me, close to me, that does it. I can think of a ton of people online that have done it, but no one else does this really obsessive. No one else has this obsessive routine as me. So for that reason, I'm very picky on who I go to for advice, because I have to protect what goes into my head at all times. After you reach out and you ask people, or you do a little research, I want you to be sure to set a timer. And the reason why is because I don't want you to end up in comparison mode. That thing where you start looking for information and you stay in it long enough and you begin diving deep into the life of somebody else, and then you begin to doubt yourself. Isn't it crazy how we have a lot working against us all the time? But in reality, it's not a lot. It is just literal thoughts in our head, but they seem like a world. It's always something at us. in us when it comes to our thoughts. But these thoughts are in our head and they seem so big and so real. It's bigger than literally anything else. And it's the one thing that we really can train not to be like a victim or a slave to. We don't have to be that way when it comes to our mindset. So anyway, the number 4 thing that I want you to do is to take a break. Go for a small walk. Cook something you like, walk your dog. If you got a cute puppy like mine, walk your dog and take a freaking break. Just step away. This works tremendously well for me. I love just getting out. I live near downtown and I meet so many different people. I see so many different people. It's always something different and it helps me to just cleanse my mind, walk away because I'm able to let these ideas and what I'm doing just kind of soak in and just feed, like refill myself back up so that I know I'm worth it and I can keep going. I want you to understand you will not get the full blueprint without the main puzzle piece, and that's you. You and your ideas. Right? No one on this earth, so if you've never been told, I need you to hear it now. No one on this earth can ever tell you 100% of what you need but you. You can take in all the elements as you should. You should. You should feed your brain with so much stuff on a regular basis until the day you leave this world. Yes, you should. But you need to understand that you feed your brain, but you apply it where you see fit. You apply it only where you see fit and make sure that your ideas and you don't get tossed to the side while you're consuming these things. One thing I do is, which I'm going to ask you to do, this is something that works for me. So I'm going to ask you to meditate or listen to some soft, beautiful music as you're walking, or don't meditate as you're walking, but maybe just as you stop and take a little break. I just want you to just really, really sit with yourself for a minute. You know, just listen to something really soft and just calm those thoughts down if you can. And I'll make another video. You all let me know if you want another video on how I do that, what I envision, because I can 100% tell you what I envision whenever I stop to sit down and create a vision that shows me that I'm still at the forefront of my life and no one else. Finally, we're going to go into the last thing, which is number 6. It's literally time to flood your mind with positivity. All right. So this is the part that I love because this idea, I want to say 2 years ago, I started doing this. And when I first started doing this, it was rough. It was hard on me to do this. It took a while for me to look into the mirror because that's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to look in the mirror and tell yourself out loud these statements. And the very first time I did this, I kid you not, I could barely look myself in the eye. I was crying, bawling and crying and all that. But the more I've done this, and I still continue to do it, I still continue to look myself in the mirror and say these things to myself. So these are the following things that I want you to say to yourself. You can wait until everyone else is gone and all that. You can even go to your car and say this, but by all means, please do this. This will help you, like I say, kind of be aware and see things from a different place from what you've always seen things. So the first thing I want you to do when you stand in front of the mirror is I want you to say your name, and then I want you to say, we are worth everything we dream of. Say your name, look in the mirror and say, we are worth everything we dream of. And then I want you to say, if not us, then who? If not us, then who? I also want you to say that I promise to show up for you even when I'm scared. I promise to show up for you even when I'm scared. I want you to then say, I'm sorry if I let you down in the past, but I will take care of you moving forward. The next thing I want you to say is, you are the most important thing in my life, and I will make sure you're happy. Write those things down that I just said, and I literally want you to stand in the mirror, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you. The very first one, when I told myself that that I'm sorry for letting myself down and that I will do everything in my power to take care of you, it took me so long. It's almost like I couldn't even face myself because I felt like I had let myself down, or I was feeling so bad about the person that I was. But the more I said that to myself, and the more I got through my pain of feeling unworthy, the more I started to see you're a pretty powerful person. You are not a throwaway. It doesn't matter how anyone treated you. You are a powerful woman. It doesn't matter if no one else sees it. It doesn't matter if anyone else validates you. It does not matter. You are the most wonderful and amazing person in my life, and I'm going to take care of you. And I tell myself that, and I don't care what the rest of the world thinks about me. I know the person that I am, and you are going to know the person that you are, and you are going to be the most powerful person in your life ever. Ladies, it is time for you to understand that no one is coming to save you. If you choose to continue needing everyone else and accepting the feeling of unworthiness, I hate to tell you, but that's literally exactly what you're going to get out of life. Nothing more. Now, everything that I talked about in this video is completely useless if you don't know how to control your emotions, which is what I talked about earlier. So I want you to check out this next video where I show you how to master controlling your emotions. But I want you to know that you deserve everything. You deserve the most amazing life while you're here on this earth. So I appreciate you for tuning in, and I will see you in my next show. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.